What can I say? She's beautiful, impressive, iconic. I am here with Director of the USS Turner Joy, Charlie Birdsell. Thank you so much for bringing us on board here.
Well, thanks for coming. I know a beautiful day it is.
Aren't we lucky? It's been raining so much. We're so lucky. But it's really something, first of all, obviously impressive when we're looking at it from the dock, but being on here is really an experience. What is it like for you to work here and to be able to be here every day?
Well, if you take a look at the view, it's not a bad job.
No.
Let me tell you. No. The ship is very special, and we try to keep it in its best shape. It is a 501c3 naval museum owned by the Bremerton Historic Ships Association, and we are open 7 days a week in our summer hours. And coming up in November, we'll be going into our winter hours, so that we'll be closed Monday and Tuesday, and only open Wednesday through Friday. So
now
you get a little bit of information there.
Yeah, we'll write it down. It'll also be on the website, so don't you worry. But coming on here, I couldn't help but notice how, I mean, this looks a little bit terrifying. Look at that. Is this how soldier or people in the Navy were on here?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, I can't imagine this out in the open water. How very impressive.
Well, and also, if you look at the archival, the footage, you'll see that this net was not there. It was just these.
This?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Talk about being brave on multiple fronts. Oh my goodness. Okay, and I would love to see, is it Mount 51 over there? Can we get over there?
That is Mount 51.
Wow, tell me a little bit about this. It's a big gun, it looks like.
Well, officially, it's a 5-inch 54 caliber. They had a maximum range of 14 miles.
Okay.
And at 12 miles was the sweet spot. And at that 12 miles, it had accuracy of plus or minus about 10 yards.
That's so far away. I'm trying to think of 12 miles. Yeah, that's amazing. Okay.
One of their main jobs when they were in Vietnam was naval gunfire support. And so they would be on a gun line off the coast, and they would have forward observers giving them the coordinates of where they needed the fire to be directed to. So they weren't obviously seeing their targets.
That's true. You know, I think about all the technology that the military has today and how things were quite different before. Talk to me about maybe what it felt like on here when this thing went off.
Well, I'm told, because I was never in one of those, the mechanisms that brought the ammunition up from the magazines, they tell me that the mechanisms were loud enough that when the gun actually fired, they really didn't hear it. They more like felt the concussion of it. Because there's so much going on, because the maximum fire rate for these guns originally was 40 rounds a minute. And so 28 to 32 was their best, where they like to operate. But as you can imagine, there was a lot of actions going on to make sure that ammunition is coming up for 32 rounds a minute.
Yes. And what does that ammunition look like? What size is it?
Well, the projectile is about yay, but it weighed 72 pounds.
72 pounds.
And then the shell casing was about yay, so it's a...
So maybe 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is so amazing. And I know that you're going to be talking to us about the history a little more later in the show, but since we have you here with this, tell me about the history of this particular weapon.
Well, in Vietnam, obviously the ceasefire went into effect on January 28th, 1973 at 8 a.m. local time. And on that morning, the gunfire director on the gun line, knowing the history of the ship, that it was there at the very beginning of the war as well, basically gave this the last shot. So at 7:59:15 out of gun mount 51, the Turner Joy fired the very last naval round of the Vietnam War.
Wow, that is so amazing. And what an opportunity to have this here in Bremerton. Share with me what you hear from people who visit and sort of get to walk around and experience this.
Well, most of the time we get obviously huge compliments. We love hearing that. But the fact that there's 90% of the ship is available to actually tour. So if you want to see what the engine rooms look like, if you want to see what the bridge looks like, all of those, there are a lot of museum ships ships around the country, but not all of them are as open and available for viewing as the Turner Joy is. So that's what we hear from people coming from everywhere, saying this is, you know, the best we've been at. So we always love hearing that.
And I want to hear from you your thoughts on like the different types of people that come on board the USS Turner Joy. I'm thinking, you know, people who are adults and big fans of ships. This is so amazing, but also maybe the little ones, because there's that extra awe, that extra magic.
Well, we have lots of families that show, and they do have the young children, and we always try to remind them that it's a very hard surface.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Don't wear heels up here.
Everything is. It's for the young ones. We want to make sure that they're safe as possible. But we have retirees that like to be here, retired naval. They got bringing back what they remember from their time in service.
Right.
We have reunions here from members of the crew from the past.
Yeah, really something for everybody.
Yes, and they like to come on, and one of the things they like to do is they let me show you where my berthing was. This is my bunk. This was where I slept.
I love that.
Yeah.
What an opportunity. Thank you so much for this inside tour. This has been amazing, and we're going to hear from you a little later to learn even more.